So let me tell you, dude, the next big thing we're going to get into that nobody knows about yet.
What's that?
Pickleball cards. Yeah.
What?
Oh, shoot. We're live.
There's a podcast called Between Two Slabs. They consume mass media. It seems so sad. It's the great curator and Merlin. They can't grow pubes, so they gotta wear a merkin. They got no money, so I guess they gotta share. Just two nerds wishing they could grow body hair. Comics, cards, and toys, nothing that would interest you. It's the podcast that nobody listens to.
Yeah.
I just gave away my big secret there, but we're back. We're live again. Another episode of Between Two Slabs, the best podcast in the hobby that nobody watches. What's up, Merlin? How you doing today?
Good evening, Dan. I'm doing well. Been a busy day, and see, we got some people. The Harley Matty Watches people. We should call them the Harley Watch 'em crew. I don't know why we give the name for the Between Two Slabs folks.
The
what,
BTS,
what name should we give them?
They're the BTS Army. That's what we call them.
B2S Army?
Yeah.
B2S.
No, I don't like BTS. I don't like.
It's got to be no. BTS is the Korean pop band.
We have to piggyback on that fan base. So when we do hashtag BTS, all the other actual BTS Army members see our stuff. You know what I mean? Okay.
Oh my goodness.
B2S. I don't like the sound of it. It's got to be BTS. Okay. We're the equivalent of that in the hobby.
Oh, great. So we're going to be up there with Blackpink and everybody.
Yes, I'm telling you. Don't sleep on K-pop cards, guys. I'm telling you, that's the next frontier.
Well, I've already got the pickleball.
Oh, hey. That was by accident that we released that.
Oh,
anyways, let's get straight into it. I know we tend to ramble a lot. Merlin talks way too much, guys. Sorry. Fix my hair here. So let's get straight into the topics. We got a lot of interesting things to talk about today. First of all, I want to talk about our renewal sponsorship here. We don't have the brand. We should, Merlin, you need to get on this. We need to get that brand on there. But our friends at Veriswap, after they saw the high level of production and programming that we produced last week, I think that they had second thoughts and they're like, you know what? We need those guys. We need those guys on our team. We need the great curator. We need Mer World Cards to be brand ambassadors. So they have renewed our sponsorship. Here. So Veriswap is going to be sponsoring us for a few more months. So we're pretty happy about that. Goldin continues to sponsor us. So, things are looking good. In fact, I think, no, we won't put the ticker on here, but I think things are looking good right now. So proud to say that Veriswap is still a partner of Between Two Slabs. So with that, go ahead. And since I am contractually obligated to mention them, let me talk about Veriswap. A lot of exciting things going on with that. Okay. If you guys are not familiar, basically Veriswap is a online trading focused platform. Not unlike all these other platforms where you can buy and sell cards, but Veriswap is specifically built out so that you can do trades also. Trades are the focal point of that marketplace. You can do cash transactions also, but you have the trading component on there. So it's it's basically designed because if you saw the interview that Merlin did with the founder, Raymond Lee, a couple weeks ago, he dropped that on his channel. Make sure to check that out. Mer World Cards. He did a great interview. If you guys understand business and economics of the hobby and how they relate, go watch that interview. It's very fascinating. I watched the whole thing, and usually I never watch any of Merlin's crap. But
I know you don't.
I watched the whole interview because it was so fascinating. But basically, this premise of a trade-focused marketplace came up because basically, people get screwed over when they do online trades. Basically, when people try to avoid eBay fees and they try to do deals off of eBay, they tend to get screwed over. You don't receive the package. You don't receive what you negotiated for. You receive like an empty package, things like that. You got to go through the whole process of trying to get your money back if you paid with goods and services through PayPal and all that stuff. It's a real pain in the ass. So Veriswap was kind of born out of that necessity to find a reputable middleman hub where both parties can mail their cards that they executed a trade with, have those cards received, verified, and then sent back out to the users, and then you kind of add an extra layer of protection for that. So that's basically what the whole app is about. They've got a huge marketplace of cards. Me and Merlin both have profiles on their app, so you can check out what we have there. But they're adding new inventory. New people are signing up every day. Check out the show notes below. I think we do have the link in there. Sign up with the link in the show notes below. That helps us out when they track the metrics of whether this brand, whether this sponsorship is working or not. But an interesting thing, Merlin, I don't know if you noticed this. They added all sorts of different things now. They added wax, so you can trade wax boxes.
They did?
Yes. Type 1
awesome.
photos. Type 1 photos. And here's the interesting thing about this. So I talked to Raymond about Veriswap and why, I was like, oh, you're expanding. Congratulations. And he actually told me, people have hacked the app. They've hacked the system where they're posting wax and type 1 photos and autographs and even raw cards. They're hacking the system because there's a demand for that kind of stuff on that trading platform. So technically, they're not supposed to do that. Technically, it's supposed to be just for graded slabs, but they figured a way to hack the system where they can add in all these things. So, I thought it was pretty funny, but apparently you're not supposed to do that. But since there is the demand for that, now they're adjusting the app to accommodate those features. So basically, it's pretty popular place. They're trying to, we have some creative marketing ideas that are going to come down the line for you guys. Mm-hmm. I can't disclose everything, but I will tell you this. It is most likely going to involve the competition, and the prize for the competition will be most likely a championship belt, guys. This was my idea. And it will accumulate most likely at the National this year. So in about a month and a half.
Like a boxing belt?
Like a
Banana Republic belt
style belt. Okay. So we've got some fun marketing ideas with that, but we're excited to extend our partnership with Veriswap. So go check them out, guys. Go sign up. Go use their app. If you have any questions, you can direct them directly to the Veriswap Instagram account, or even Merlin, or even Raymond Lee. Just don't ask me about it, okay? I already said my thing. Okay. Anything you want to add to that, Merlin?
Oh, no. Just check it out. It's fun to use. It's easy. Like I said, it took me about 5 minutes to create an account and upload some photos. That's how quick it was.
Yes.
For your cards.
Yes. Awesome. Oh, and then we got to talk about our other sponsor real quick here. So, Merlin, I will let you talk about our weekly show now that we have tomorrow, the Goldin Hour.
Oh, that's right. We have one tomorrow, too. We're having them Tuesdays and Wednesdays. And on Wednesday, when we're not doing Between Two Slabs presents Goldin Hour with Dan, the curator, and I, Mer World Cards. And it's going to come on at 9 p.m. Eastern Time and 6 p.m. Pacific Time, just like Between Two Slabs on Tuesday, except this one's on Wednesday, and we're going to discuss about auctions that are going off on Goldin Auctions at the time, and ones that have ended and ones that have just started. And we've been looking at the weeklies and the elites, which are the high-end ones. And we saw some exciting items last week getting auctioned off live. We saw them end. It was incredible. We had a fun time doing it. It was so fun. We stayed on for 2 hours. That's how fun it was.
Yeah, I mean, I had a great time. I'm liking these lives that we're doing, coinciding with while watching these auctions end, because sometimes I get involved with it. Sometimes I bid myself, so you can kind of see behind the scenes what it's like to either win or lose on my end. So that's pretty cool. But it's a little bit different feel from tonight, from what we do usually from Between Two Slabs, because it's more focused on the
oh my goodness.
Sorry,
wow.
Guys. I got too excited. Too excited here. Earthquake. I live in California. Earthquake.
That was an earthquake?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
So anyways, it's a little bit different feel because we really talk about like buying, selling, trading cards, what's hot in the market. So we cover that on that side, and we let loose a little bit, guys. We get a little bit saucy. We get a little bit spicy in the Goldin Hour. Although I think we got too spicy because we got a little message from the marketing team a couple days ago saying, hey guys, we love the excitement, we love the energy, but can you guys kind of keep it down a little bit? Can you like keep it a little bit more family friendly, because they kind of because Merlin, they didn't like Merlin's consumption of certain products.
It was you, man.
We got reprimanded on that, so we got to tone it down a little bit. But we have a lot of fun. That's the thing that I want to tell you guys. We have a lot of fun. So join us tomorrow night live here on YouTube at 6 p.m. for that.
You may never know what happens.
You never know what happens, okay? Because we go till all the auctions that we watch kind of close out. So it's a lot of fun for sure. But with that, I want to transition into talk about last week's effects, the after effects of the Vader Superfractor sale. I don't think we've talked about it yet. We haven't really like debriefed on it, right? So we'll go ahead and start off talking about that, guys, and tell you kind of like what that does to the Star Wars market, what I believe what happened. The other thing I want to tell you guys real quick before we get into that is we had some comments, we had some complaints from people, specifically a surly old man named Jordan, that sometimes we don't get to the comments fast enough, guys. Okay, so again, the format of the show here is basically we try to get to the comments towards the end so that it doesn't disrupt our train of thought while we're talking and going back and forth. But if you guys have a really pressing question, or you want to comment, or you just want us to basically engage with you during this front part of the show, you're gonna have to send us a super sticker. Okay, send us a super chat sticker.
Yes.
I don't care the amount. Just send any type of super chat sticker, and that will highlight your comment, and then we will get to it right away. Okay,
right away.
So I think that's the best kind of like a compromise that we can make here, because we can't just keep going back and forth to the comments all the time. But if you can wait till the end. If you can't wait, Jordan, then send us a super chat sticker, and then we'll get to your comment.
Yes, right, Jordan, send us a super sticker, please.
Okay, so with that, let's talk about what happened last week. Okay, the Vader Superfractor. For you guys who weren't watching us live and haven't heard, you've been living under a rock. The Darth Vader Superfractor portrait from Series 2 of Top Secret Galaxy that came out late last year sold on Goldin for a whopping $24,600 with the buyer premium. That's before taxes, insurance, and shipping. So it's probably like close to like 25 grand, to be honest. Hugely overperformed what I thought it would be. I thought it was going to be 15 max. And I was talking within my circles. I was like, dude, guys, basically the Superfractor Club, other members of the Superfractor Club, I was like saying, if it hits 15, that's going to be a great sale. That's going to be huge for the Star Wars market, right? I myself bid $10,000 on that card, and I thought I had a chance. I thought I had a really good chance because I was like the leading bidder up until like the last couple of days.
Okay.
So I said, okay, maybe I can get it for like 12 grand. And
you tried?
I did. I bid all the way up to almost 14 grand on that card.
You tapped out at 14 grand?
Yes,
almost?
Yes. Because I just didn't want to spend that much on it. But there was like leading up until the auction, there was a lot of talk around that card because, like I was saying in the live, that card, a lot of people want it. And when a lot of people want a certain card, it holds almost like mystical powers over other people in the hobby, where people will go above and beyond out of their way to try to acquire that card from you. There's definitely cards in the hobby where you can leverage it for some type of advantage. There's a lot more value that comes in cards like that than people realize. Okay. And that card is one of them, right? So I tried to win it, but unfortunately I tapped out. We thought it was going to be at 15. It exceeded that very quickly, went to 16, then went to 18, then went to 19, then went to 20. And the reason our live was so long last week is because that auction just kept going and going and going. And eventually it ended at 24, like it ended at like 22 something, but with buyer premium, it came out to be like 24.6 on that. But truly an amazing sale. Now that is the highest confirmed public sale of a modern Star Wars card ever, more than the Kurosawa, Kurosawa, if you guys don't remember, I sold that to Dapps for $16,500 last year. Okay. And in basically a year, the market has expanded, which I'm very proud of, to be honest. That was one of the reasons that we decided to sell the Kurosawa to Dapps at the time, was to establish a big sale in the community and help grow and propel the Star Wars card market. Some people didn't like it, like our friend Anthony. Some people loved it. The people that support us, and we're gonna get some profits on that. It was very controversial, but we did it. And a lot of people were going to say that the Star Wars market was going to crash and burn and things like that. But I think that this sale for the Vader Superfractor really validates everything that we were talking about for the last year. What do you think?
No, definitely, because I was wondering what's going to happen and if it was going to lose some steam. But that definitely, coming out of Series 2 and a brand new sale, that has definitely reignited the fires for Star Wars again. I mean, it's still going. It's just, though, it's back in the highlight again.
Yeah, definitely. For somebody to put that type of money publicly on that sale, because there's been some other sales that have not really been confirmed, things like that. Anytime you have like a private sale, guys, I'm like, for me, unless you tell me exactly what you sold it for and both parties confirm, just like what me and Dapps did. And me and Dapps went a step further where we filmed the whole transaction, right? Unless you do that, these private sales, you kind of have to kind of like just kind of think of it like a rumor. Maybe take it with a grain of salt, because you never know. Because we know that the Yoda on Dagobah Series 1 Superfractor sold supposedly for over $20,000, but the guys never confirmed it. Never confirmed the price.
Oh, really?
Yeah, even we know the guy.
We saw him
I held the card in my hand, and we asked them, and they were like they were coy about it. There was a little bit of trade involved in that, and cash on top of that. They never confirmed how much it was, and if we want to grow the market, we have to confirm these sales. You know what I mean? To some extent, you know what I mean? It really just takes two people just to say, yeah, we did the deal. This is how much it is. Just like what I did with the Roman Superfractor, which I sold for $25,000. I made sure that the buyer confirms the price paid for that, right? So people can understand that. But if that doesn't happen, then really the only way to verify any sale is to have it on a public site. And to have it on Goldin, that was pretty huge for that. It was. And I am already seeing the after effects. Okay, there's two things that.
What have you seen so far?
There's two things that happen when you get a big sale like that. Number one is anybody that has another Superfractor, here's the thing. So
they throw it out.
People that see that type of sale, they immediately go and they try to buy Superfractors, right?
They do. Okay.
Or whatever it is. It could be one of one or whatever it is. But in this case, people immediately go and they try to acquire Star Wars Superfractors from whoever they know that has it. So that's
try to flip them.
Yes, they either see value in it and they grab it because they think they're going to turn around and 5x it at some point, or they try to flip it right away. So if you see any that are on eBay right now that were at like relatively low prices, they probably got snatched up right away. Okay. That's the first thing that happens is people try to get into the Superfractor market because they're like, oh crap, these Star Wars cards are worth money now. Let me get in on this, right? So the opportunists try to get in. On the flip side of that, the people that do have Superfractors suddenly they pop their chest out a little bit. They feel a lot better about their choices in life, and then they start listing those Superfractors. And some people list them for reasonable prices. $5,000, $10,000, even $15,000.
But the people who have them for $100,000,
then you got the other guys that list them for, they see the Vader Superfractor and they're like, well, you know what, my Superfractor is way better than that, and then they'll list it for like $50,000, $100,000. You see all these things on eBay. They're like, it's too much, right? It's too much, and so you got those type of people out there doing that, and then you got the other guys that just try to get in and try to make money on it. But that's basically the after effects, and I'm already seeing it. I'm already seeing like guys sell their super refractors for tens of thousands of dollars. In my opinion, they probably shouldn't be going that high, but you know, if people want to pay for it, that's fine. I'm not going to knock them that. But here's the thing.
Okay.
Here's the thing that I really want to share with anybody that's listening about this. Okay, and this is what I learned in the Marvel market. All right, when there's a market like Star Wars, and it's relatively small in comparison to sports. Sports is going to be the benchmark for any type of card. Right? Sports cards. How does Star Wars relates in terms of sports card sales and things like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
The way that we have to kind of manage this newfound interest in the Star Wars market is we have to make sure that people that are coming into the market are not taken advantage of, and we also have to make sure that the right people have the best cards in hand. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I'll give you an example. All right. If with the Marvel market, what I think happened there is basically a lot of people came into the market and they paid up big time for Marvel cards that the prior owners had, right? And the prior owners basically got top dollar for all their cards right away, probably even more. And they baked into it the price that they could appreciate, because there was so much hype around Marvel that basically it created like a bubble, right? Prices went from like, this is an exaggeration, but prices went from like $100 to like $20,000 seemingly in the matter of weeks, right? And when you have a steep incline of prices like that, it's inevitable that the prices will level off at some point and will probably even go down at some point, right? And that creates a bubble, and that's what we saw in Marvel. So with Star Wars, we didn't see that to that huge extent.
No.
When we had the Kurosawa sale, the Kurosawa was 16.5. That was the new ceiling for Star Wars, and we saw every Star Wars card go up, maybe double the price, but things that were so low, it was still way below what the Kurosawa was, and that basically kind of managed the rise in the market. Like, it was a gradual rise over the course of a year. There was never a huge spike and then a substantial drop. It was just rising. There's like a couple of $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 sales, blah, 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 right? Until it got to the point where the Vader set the new ceiling. And to go from 16.5 to 24.6, very reasonable in my mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not like it went from 16.5 to $100,000, right? It was a nice incremental increase, and that's why I feel really good about the Star Wars market, because I think that as long as it can maintain that trend, then it's going to establish a real solid foundation where people feel comfortable coming into the market and comfortable spending that type of money. You know what I mean? The next sale, if the next sale is like over $30,000, I think that's really reasonable for some card to come out. Like if the Leap of Faith suddenly appeared and it was a $30,000 plus card, that would be very reasonable.
So why do you think it like happened? How come, like, say Marvel and Star Wars came out like same time last year? I felt like they got went through the same phase around the same time. But how come the extreme with Marvel, you had a quick increase and a quick decrease, like a big nosedive, and Star Wars has kept a nice steady throughout the entire year?
Ooh, that's a loaded question. Okay, I will give you my opinion about it based on what I know and for what it's worth. Okay. Based on what I know, this is my opinion of what happened, and a lot of people are going to have, differing opinions about this, but I think it was a combination of what I just kind of talked about. You had new people coming into the market that had money.
Mm-hmm.
You had old people in the market that had cards at a very low cost basis, and those people cashed out on the new people, and they baked into that a premium on top of whatever price they were selling at. They put in a premium on top of that based on where they thought the market was going to go. So they weren't necessarily going off of comps because the comps were so low at that time. And what the people that were buying the cards were doing is they were overpaying, and then they were with the intention of either grading those cards or flipping them really quick or sending them to auction. And those people were not the right people to hold those cards, right? We don't want, you can't build a market necessarily around flippers for the cards that drive a market, like the cards that set record comps and things like that. You can't build that type of market based on flippers, where somebody buys a card one day and then a couple of days later they try to flip it for a substantial profit. That's not a good way to build the market, because it's just not sustainable for prices to go up, right? For these type of cards, you need somebody to buy it, hold it for a period of time, like a year or 6 months or something, where there's enough change in the market where then they relist the card for sale, and then it sets a new price based off of that, right? Rare cards, the rarest and most valuable cards don't transact that much. Like if a Mickey Mantle 10, if a Mickey Mantle PSA 10, a 1952 Mickey Mantle, there's only 3 of them, I believe.
3 do exist.
Yes. Imagine if those 3 cards kept transacting every 3 to 6 months, right? Every 3 to 6 months, one would come on the market. Somebody would set a record price for it. Then another 3 months, they would sell it, and they would expect to get another record price. Eventually, you're going to run out of a pool of buyers that are willing to pay a premium on top of that. And then it becomes less scarce because it's constantly turning over every couple months, right?
Gotcha.
So with the Marvel cards, that's what they were trying to do. They were trying to turn them over too quickly. The wrong people, basically flippers, got those cards, then sent them to different auction houses, and they got the market got flooded with it, and the demand could not keep up with the supply. That's why you had them go down. And then so it was a combination of all those things happening. And with Star Wars, I really haven't seen that yet, because number one, the people that are coming into the market are coming from a collector base versus a flippers base. So because they kind of learned their lesson from Marvel, so they didn't want to do that again. So the collectors are coming in, the collectors are buying up all the best cards and they're holding them. And you're seeing a lot less transactions, a lot less turnover on a lot of the cards. And the rare cards that set the ceiling, the superfractors, you're seeing a lot less turnover on that for sure. But now it's been a while since any big sale has happened. So now you're starting to see the superfractors come out. They'll probably change hands a couple times. I already know several people that moved their superfractors and new people that are coming into the market. So you'll see that. Hopefully you won't see superfractors flood the market. Hopefully we won't see that. But I do think that people are going to be trying to cash in on the Vader effect. I do think that we'll see other Galaxy Supers on Goldin and eBay and PWCC and all those auction houses within the next month or so. But then hopefully it will cool down. Okay. But basically that's how you build a market. You have to have a measured, consistent growth over a period of time to establish a solid foundation so that the price of the cards don't crash. And if we do that, if we continue to do that with Star Wars, I think Star Wars has a lot of room to grow, to be honest. And, I've said that for the better part of a year now, that I believe the Star Wars market's going to be real huge, and that, if you're smart with it, then you can do well in that market. You just have to make sure that you don't go crazy and overpay for things. You don't buy everything, and you hold for enough time for the cards to appreciate. What do you think?
Definitely. Well, gosh, I totally blanked out. It's crazy because maybe one day we'll see Logan Paul with that Kurosawa walking down, WrestleMania wearing it like he does with the Charizard, and we can say, "Hey, that used to be ours." Maybe he'll buy it from Daps. Who knows? It'll be like the card that's owned by the celebrities.
I think so. I mean, I think that Kurosawa, if the story continues to build on what happened with that card and what it caused and all the after effects, like the Vader Superfractor, if we continue to see sales like that, then the value of that card is definitely going to grow. And I could see that card being, a 6-figure card one day. Not tomorrow, but maybe one day, if enough money and buyers come into the Star Wars community, collector the base and it expands, yeah, I could definitely see that at some point. I mean, just in comparison to what I see what happens with sports cards, you know, like I would rather have any of these Star Wars cards over any modern sports card, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah. Maybe
over
vintage.
LeBron or anything.
Yeah, because you know it's based on rarity, and then maybe this is a great segue into our next topic here about understanding the value of collectibles. Okay, I kind of briefly talked about this last week when we were on our live, when I was telling people when I was humble bragging about my sale of the Roman Superfractor. Right. If you guys don't know, let me just catch you up on this. Okay. Basically, I sold my Roman Reigns Superfractor a couple weeks ago, $25,000. And when I told people that price on it, I've shopped it around for like 6 months, basically. When I told people what I wanted for that, most people thought I was crazy. And a lot of people made fun of me. But then, you know, here I am. I sold the card for 25 grand. And then a lot of people asked me, like, what makes that card worth that type of money? Like, how do you do this? Right? How do you buy?
How do you do it?
And here's the answer. Okay. Here's my my convoluted answer to this.
Okay.
In the collectible market, right? As much as people want to establish fair market value for our cards, what I believe is that collectibles are really only determined, the value of a collectible is really only determined by what somebody's willing to pay for it at any given time. Okay. And I can cite you many examples about this. Okay. My Duncan Go uncut sheet that was sold on Goldin a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
The previous one that sold before that on Goldin Elite Auction, like $19,000+.
When I thought you were going to get that,
I thought that's the fair market value, right? Fair market value.
Just like these Superfractors are going to be with the Star Wars. You thought you like, oh, I better put it in the oven while it's still hot.
So I put mine on there, and then I sold mine for like $5,800, right? So it really depends on what on the situation and what somebody's willing to pay for it on that given day. Okay. But for me, when I buy cards now, since I've learned all these lessons over the course of the last few years, what I look for is, for me to determine the value of a collectible, I look for 3 things. Okay.
Okay. 3 things.
Number one is I look at the item and I need to be able to see the beauty in it. You know, why would anybody want a Roman Reigns Superfractor? Why would anybody want a Darth Vader Superfractor, or, you know, a LeBron James RPA or whatever, right?
Right.
There has to be some type of, you have to be able to see the beauty in the item. Okay. For whatever, and it could be anything, but you got to be able to look at it and be like, that's cool. I love that. You know, that's number one. Number 2 is you have to recognize the relevancy of the item. Okay. If we're talking about like a shoeless Joe Jackson card from 1910 versus a LeBron James RPA, or even a Darth Vader Superfractor,
right?
What is more relevant today? What is something that you could take around to people and most people will be able to know what it is, versus something that's just so out of touch with today's society that they're not going to recognize the value? So number 2, it has to be relevant. And then number 3, it has to be scarce. Okay. And here's something that people don't understand about the word scarcity. They often confuse it with the word rarity, right? A lot of things can be rare. Rare basically means it's hard to find. So like, you know, you could show like, let me pull something out here. Okay. Like this Hulk Hogan card that I have. This is an impeccable Hulk Hogan on card auto. This is very rare. This is the gold version, only 10.
1 of 10.
And this happens to be number 1 of 10. So it's very rare card, right? There's only 10 in the world. But what is the demand for this particular card of Hulk Hogan in his boa, you know, flexing impeccable series? What is the demand on this card? All right. So most people will say these things are rare, and yes, they are, but what is the demand? And that's the difference. That's the major distinction between the word rare versus scarce, or rarity versus scarcity. Scarcity means that it's rare, but also has a very high demand for it. And if there's a high demand for a rare item, that means it's worth a lot of money. Okay. That can be worth a lot of money because people are going to want to compete with it. All right. with the Vader Superfractor, for example, there's only one Superfractor. Okay.
Right. One.
And people wanted to compete with it. And that's why there was 2 buyers having a pissing contest to see whose lightsaber was bigger, where they got it up to 24/6. And I think we can say that the rumor between that of who the winner was Steve Aoki. Okay.
Oh.
Steve Aoki was the person that won that card. It's not like confirmed, but my sources tell me that's who it is. Okay. So if we apply this logic to the Darth Vader Superfractor, because that's just what happened last week, right? Number one, is it beautiful? We look at that card, we see a big, beautiful portrait of Darth Vader. Okay. We see gold outline around it. Yes, that card is beautiful. That card has a story to tell, and the story is really cool because that portrait was part of the original Galaxy series back in 1992. They recycled the design. They brought it back for Series 2 of Chrome. Beautiful, beautiful card. Nobody denies that. Number 2, how relevant is it? I mean, Darth Vader, he basically just had a Renaissance revival of his character in Obi-Wan Kenobi. Okay.
Right.
Everybody knows Vader in pop culture. You don't even have to have watched Star Wars to understand who Darth Vader is and know that he's a badass. So still very much relevant in today's culture. And then 3, it's scarce. It's a 1 of 1. It's rare, 1 of 1. And there's high demand because, like I was telling you, people wanted that card for the power that it wields. Okay. Steve Aoki,
it still has the Force with it.
Steve Aoki wanted that card so bad that he was willing to pay up that much for it. So all those combinations make that card as valuable as it was. So when you're looking at collectibles and you're trying to, if you want to call yourself an investor, a collector, investor, whatever, if you're looking at collectibles, you have to kind of apply that formula to what you're buying, right? And if any one of those 3 things are off, then the value of those cards is really going to be determined by whatever else somebody's selling. You know, you're going to be like a slave to a comp. But for me, my style now is, since I've learned that lesson the hard way, I really only buy really things that fit those 3 categories, where I'm not a slave to comps. Basically, I set my own comp. It's my card, and I can set whatever price it was for it. And all I got to do is I just got to find somebody that values the card the same way that I do, and then we can do it. We can do a deal, and that's exactly what happened with the Roman Reigns Superfractor.
What's Steve Aoki going to do with this card? Is he going to wear it around his neck? Like, does he plan on selling it? Like, what's a celebrity's end game with cards?
I know, but I don't know if I want to tell you guys. It's insider information. I know what he's planning to do. Okay. A little birdie told me, but so I don't want to say it because I don't want to screw up his game.
Okay.
But I'll just say this: that he's a Star Wars collector. So he's building one of the best Star Wars collections out there. He only buys Superfractors. He only buys like rare, low pop, numbered 1 of 1, like out of 10.
Well, he got all those like Marvel PMGs too, right?
He's got Marvel PMGs. He's got Star Wars Sapphire cards. He's got, everything. He's a real collector. So he's out building one of the best collections in the world. And
so you think he's got a display case like the Curators? It's back there, and when his friends come over the party, they're like, "Man, I love that Superfractor."
Let's be honest. Nobody can compare with the showroom. Okay. Nobody can compare with the Curator showroom, but I'm sure his house is probably looking real nice right now. But I think if I'm going to speculate without telling you guys exactly what I know, but just kind of speculating out a couple years, I would say he's probably trying to be like that. What's that guy's name that Jeff Wilson interviews? Marshall Fogel or something like that.
Yeah.
Where he just has this crazy ass collection that everybody admires and everybody will kiss his ass because he's got this collection that he's built up over the years. I think that's what he's trying to do. I think he's buying he's trying to have the best modern pop culture card collection in the world. And, he is well on his way to get in there. But I know somebody else who's trying to do the same thing. So that's why I was telling you that card will wield a lot of power. It's a flex. Whoever has that Vader card. You can't claim to have the best Darth Vader collection unless you got that card in there.
Now, what happened to those Darth Vader cards that Daps and who was it, Dave and Adams or whoever was looking for? They have bounties on. How's that going?
Those cards haven't been pulled yet. The Luke Assembles Superfractor,
Yeah,
and the Lack of Faith, one of my favorites. That has not been pulled yet, and I think they're still putting on bounties on other cards. I just saw them put a bounty on that. What's that show called? I'm drawing a blank. The one I didn't like.
the Bad Batch.
No, the really slow one where it has the guy from Rogue One or something.
Endor.
Yeah. Who's the main?
You didn't
actor?
like that?
Andor, right?
You didn't like
Andor.
it?
No, I didn't like it. It was slow.
What?
I didn't like it.
Oh my god, it was the best, Dan.
Okay. Anyways, they put a bounty on his Superfractor auto, like 15 grand for that.
I mean, Diego Luna?
Yeah.
Oh, the actor, Diego Luna.
Yeah.
Wow. They do have an autographed card of him.
Yeah, in the new Topps Chrome set that came out.
Oh, so, wow.
They put a bounty on that, but those things haven't been pulled yet, so they're out there. So I mean, if anybody rips a Star Wars box, they could get lucky and have an instant payday.
I heard there's a Benicio del Toro card too, as well.
But here's the question.
I
Okay,
want one of those.
Here's the question. So the bounty on those cards is $15,000, right? You just saw the Vader Superfractor sell for $24,600, like $25,000. If you pull that card, do you accept the bounty right away, 15 grand cash out,
or do I send it to Goldin,
or do you take the chance and do you send it to auction? That would be a tough one for me, to be honest, because do I think any of those cards will exceed the Vader portrait super sale? I don't know. It's hard to say. I would say no. I
mean, if you pulled the Lack of Faith, what would you do, Dan?
I would do a private sale on that. I would,
oh man!
But I'm able to do that. I have the connections where I can do a private sale and I could get 20 grand on that easy. Okay, on that. But let's just say you're just some kid and you pull it out of a box in your hobby shop.
Right?
Do you get greedy and send it to auction with the thought that you could lose? You could get less than 15, or do you take the 15 right away? That would be a very tough decision, I think. On that, if you ask me, does the Luke Assemble, is that worth more than the Vader portrait? No, I wouldn't say so.
No.
The Lack of Faith, I would say it's a badass card, but I know it's not going to be gold. It's going to be all red.
You think so?
So I probably wouldn't value that more than the Vader portrait either. The only card that I can think of right now, unless something popped up and I saw it, the only card that I can think of that would be recognized as being worth more than the Vader portrait would be the Leap of Faith from Series 1. If it's gold.
The box cover.
Yes. If it's gold, then it will be worth more than the Vader Superfractor, and hasn't been pulled yet. Okay, that we know of.
Has the Luke 1 portrait been pulled?
Yes, he has it.
Who?
Steve Aoki has it.
Oh, he has that one too?
Yeah, he paid like
oh man.
I think he paid like $8 grand for that card.
That's it. Wow.
Yeah. And then the Yoda has been pulled, and Steve Aoki also has that. He paid 13 grand for that.
So Steve is on a tear to get all the portraits, it sounds like to me.
He's out there trying to build the best collection. Okay. No doubt about that. And he's flexing his DJ muscles he's flexing his DJ money to get that, which, by the way, who knew DJs made so much money? Like,
he's like the highest paid DJ in the world.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. But yeah, he's definitely out there doing that. So I don't know, like, what I would do if I didn't have the exposure where I could do a private sale. I'd probably take the money, to be honest. Just because I don't like risking at auctions. You never know what will happen with auction. I just told you about my experience with my Dunk and Go uncut sheet. You never know. So if it's close enough, like that, if I'm using 25,000 as the ceiling, 15,000 there, it's a $10,000 difference. I rather just take the money than risk, losing.
There'd be nothing worse if you're expecting 25,000 and it sells for like 2,000 to 3,000.
I don't think it would go that low, but
but
I could see it going for like 10 grand, 10 grand or around that price for those cards. But who knows? You know what I mean? If there's enough hype behind something, then all it takes is two people to really getting in a bidding war, and then you can get crazy prices. That's what happened with The Rock with a Rock 1-of-1, right? That went for $130,000.
Now, so does that mean your card, your Roman Reigns you sold last week in the private sale, is that kind of considered now like the second highest wrestling card sold in existence?
The modern, as far as I know, yes. Not vintage, because there's a Hogan 82 Hogan All Stars that sold for over $30,000, I think.
Whoa, really?
Yes, but
what was it, like a PSA 9 or 10?
I forget what it was, like 9 or something like that. But yeah, I would have to say my Roman is probably the highest modern card that we know of, that I think, because I know there's been some private sales for like $20,000. But for 25,000, I think I set the new record with that. And a lot of people ask me about that. A lot of the wrestling collectors DM me asking me to verify these prices. So it's getting around there. And at some point, I promise you guys, at some point, I will get the new owner of that card, the guy that bought it from me. I will get him on Between Two Slabs. We will do an interview. You'll see his face. He will confirm everything. So I'm working on that. I'm just trying to prepare him because I know he's going to get a lot of heat from people. So I'm just trying to prepare him because he doesn't have a social media presence. So if
are you already getting heat for it? That's the question.
No, I really haven't got too much heat for it, but I haven't put it out there that much. But I want people to know what it is, okay? Because it will help the values of everybody else's card, for sure, on that. But yeah, so that's kind of like what happened. The other thing I want to talk about, just since we're talking about bounties, is what's going on with so many bounties? Like, why does so many, like, everybody's putting a bounty for all these rare cards now? Is there something that goes on with the process of a bounty that I don't know about? Like, David Adams.
Would you have believed that like a year and a half or a year ago, people would have told you the following year there'd be bounties on Star Wars Superfractors?
No, I wouldn't. Before the sale, Kurosawa, no. After the sale, I could see it.
Yeah.
I could see it because that's what we hope for. We hope for the market to grow. We hope for more money to come in. This is our position. Some people have the position where they don't want money to come in. They want to keep it enclosed to what it is now. They don't want it to grow. But for me and you, I think we're in the position where we try to be ambassadors for the market, and we try to bring in as many people as we can because we want it to grow, and that's how we see the values of these cards rising. So I could see it. That's what I kind of hoped would happen after the Kurosawa sale.
Okay.
But what is the deal with the bounties? That's what I want to know. Like, I don't think it's about the card. I don't think that these guys just want the card.
What do you think they want?
Marketing,
because marketing.
The guys that are putting out these bounties are like David Adams. They sell wax. They're like a distributor. Right. Yes. So they want, like with the David Adams, they for that Lord of the Rings one of one ring that they put $1 million bounty on. They put a deadline to get that bounty, like July, mid-July or something like that.
Of this year. Yeah.
So I imagine that they're just doing it so that people buy the product from them. I think.
Gotcha.
Right?
I see.
So I think there's some marketing tactics going on here where they're just trying to move these products. They're trying to get people to rip it and try to build like hype around it. I don't think that they actually want these cards. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. I mean, it's exciting.
It's just part of like creating the hunger for it.
Yeah. Create the demand for it, because otherwise people probably wouldn't even know these cards exist unless somebody told them, right?
Gotcha.
Oh, it's interesting. I mean, it's always fun. It's always fun to kind of like build these little contests, these competitions within the hobby, because people get really into it. Remember,
do you have any bounties on anything?
Me? Do I have any bounties? Yeah. No, I mean, not really. But like, I don't know. I don't want something until I see it. Basically, like
right.
Like, I know that there's a one of everything out there, right? But I won't really know until I see it. And then something inside me clicks and says, go get that. You know what I mean? So I'm not the type of guy to put a bounty on anything. But remember a couple months ago where they had like some, like Topps Baseball had some type of bounty. I forget who did it.
Really?
Like, it was another card. It was another like card shop or something like that where they put a bounty for, like, if you put together the short print set from Topps update or something like that, you'll win, I don't know, a crazy amount of money. And then some dude like bought like 200 cases and he ripped the whole thing or something like that. It was crazy.
And he didn't get it?
No, he didn't. I don't think he got it. I don't think he got it. But like people get really crazy with these bounties. You know, who knows? Who knows if that will be like the new thing? I suspect.
See, I thought you have the bounty for any Black Prism Roman Reigns. That's why you're opening up cases.
I don't have the bounty. I don't have the bounty of that, but I do know at least 2 people that do have bounties, and it's rumored to be about 25,000 for the
Black Prism Roman Reigns.
Yes, which is why I bought a whole damn case. I was trying to.
How many different versions are there? Aren't there like more than one? There's like 2 or 3.
A lot,
or more than that.
A lot. But here's the thing. I think really the one-of-ones really only apply to the base cards, right? The one-of-one blacks of the base cards is what people want. They don't necessarily want the black inserts. You know what I mean? So I think it's just kind of limited to that. Same thing with Star Wars too. But
and what would you rather have, the black version autographed or non-autographed?
If it's a sticker, I want the non-autograph.
Well, it's going to be a sticker because it's Prism.
No, then I'll take the non-autograph. It's been basically accepted by the community that people don't like the stickers, and if they have a choice between the non,
even when it's a one-of-one,
yeah, I mean it's special. Like we just saw that Shawn Michaels one-of-one over the past weekend, right? That kid brought it to your table.
It was a Black Prism.
It was a Black Prism one-of-one Shawn Michael auto, but it was on a sticker. You know. And there's always going to be issues with that. There's always going to be issues. I learned that the hard way because I had a Tom Brady gold out of 10. It was like, I forget which set it was. It was like a lower tier set, but it was a gold out of 10. Tom Brady auto, but it was a sticker auto. And people just like looked at it like it was trash, dude. When I got that card, I was so proud of it. I was like, Tom Brady out of 10, sticker auto, highest grade of the 10 set. And I shopped it around, and the first thing everybody said, sticker, you know? So, you know, I just try to avoid stickers if I can. I only have a couple cards that have stickers on them, which, you know, I knew that going into it, but I try to avoid the sticker autos if I can. Mm-hmm. If there's an alternative, then I'll get the one that doesn't have it. But if there's no alternative, then yeah, I'll take the sticker auto.
But overall, a regular, plain, non-auto Black Prism one-of-one be better than the sticker auto Black Prism one-of-one.
Yes, I think so.
Gotcha.
You know, I could be wrong. People can disagree with me, but that's what I see. That's what I see.
It's whatever's in your taste, right? Whatever you want to collect.
Yes. Okay. All right. So let's move on from this topic here. You want to do a mail day. You want to show off some things you got. I want to talk about one more topic before we get into that. Okay, real quick here. I won't get too deep in this because you know, I don't want to give away too many of my secrets. But I thought
let's hear some secrets.
I thought this would be interesting. Okay, guys, and this is for the little tidbit of knowledge, the little nugget of knowledge that I usually give in each 2-hour podcast. I give you guys about like 3 minutes of really good advice if you want to make money in the hobby. So this is it here. Okay. You know, I look around and I see when people think of the hobby, other than collecting, right? When people think about making money in the hobby, all people think about is flipping, right? Mm-hmm. Flipping, buying cards, flipping the cards, or buying cards, letting them appreciate, and then, you know, selling them. And people think that that's the only way to make money in the hobby. And what I have slowly realized, and what I'm actively pursuing right now, is that within the hobby, it's about transacting cards, and that's one way to make money. But it's a grind and it's a hustle. Mm-hmm. The real people that are making money are the businesses that service the hobby. Okay, the people that make supplies, the marketplaces that sell your cards, the LCSs that sell you product, the distributors that move product, anything, the apps that help you track prices, you know, everything that supports the infrastructure of the hobby. Those people are making money, whether the prices of cards are up or down. They're making good money. So when I look at that, I kind of think to myself, okay, rather than just trying to like go to shows and hustle and flip cards like we did last year, we really have to find businesses within the hobby that we like and that we can invest in. And if we can get in on these businesses early when they're startups or when they're raising money to scale up their business because it's doing well, that's the real opportunity in the hobby. Okay, so that's my tip to you guys. If you guys look around, if you see a product that you like, and people message me all the time with products like, where's my guy here? Like these guys right here, you know, I'll give them a shout out. Slab Factory. Okay,
Slab Factory.
They make these one-touch cases that look like slabs with the little label, custom label here. You know, that's a new product that they could go off. You know, our friend,
and they made that, the label.
Yeah, they make this product. This is a one-touch case. It opens up.
Oh, it is. Oh, wow.
Okay, see, it opens up like that. But it looks like a slab. Okay,
that's cool.
Yeah. A big supporter of mine that I'm a brand ambassador for, Slabmags. Another one. They make a protective case. You know, you've got our friend Min, Graded Guard. Mm-hmm. You got Veriswap. They make an app. You know, our friend Mr. Minty, he makes cleaning products. You know,
right.
So there's all these businesses that support the infrastructure of the hobby. And if you really want to make money and invest outside of flipping cards, if you don't want to be part of that crazy rat wheel of a process,
mm-hmm.
look for businesses that you can support. Okay. And they can be small businesses. They can be big business. You know, you don't have to go out and buy PSA like Nat Turner did, although that was a brilliant move. All right. Brilliant move that he bought PSA. And since then you've seen him acquire other companies like, you know, Wada Grading and Goldin Auctions and things like that. But if you look towards what the big companies are doing, like what I just said, PSA, Goldin, PWCC, Fanatics, if you look at what they're doing, then maybe you can try to copy something like that on a smaller scale. Look for companies that make a really innovative product. Our friend that, you know, Standup Displays. Standup Displays is another one, right? Look for these companies that have products that are in the hobby, and if you like it and you believe in it, and they have a good business model, they have a good operator behind it, then see if you can invest in those. See if you can invest in those businesses, get in early, and then maybe those businesses scale up really big. And what will happen is those businesses will eventually get acquired by other businesses, because that's what happens in the hobby. They consolidate, and that could be a great way that you could make a nice little investment on that. So it's just something I've been thinking about. I have been trying to do that on my end lately. I'm trying to be that guy, but it's hard. It's hard finding businesses. It's hard negotiating the deals. But if you can find those relationships and you can get in early, then definitely there's great opportunity there. Okay.
So true. All
right. So with that, let's get to your mail day, and then we'll get the comments.
All right. Well, I'm excited since this movie came out, a little Disney product. Everybody's been getting Disney, so I bought a couple Ariel's, Little Mermaids. One her as a mermaid, and then her as the human being with legs. I guess she's wearing a dress in this one, and that's the die cut one right there. So I'm going to get that one graded. I got this one back, the one auction I won that I showed y'all, I think, a week or two ago. I think it was last week, wasn't it? Roger Daltrey, 1 of 1 autograph, Leaf Hitmakers. And then, I've been buying up some type 1s and type 2s and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I had to get this one, Kurt Cobain.
Oh, that's a nice one.
Yeah, right? And then this one's pretty cool. You probably don't know who these people are, Dan, do you?
I don't know.
It's Van Halen and the Scorpions.
Okay.
Back in the 80s at a Halloween party. They're probably looking, they're having a good time. Yeah. They probably went into the bathroom, got into the devil's business, but that's why they're laughing. But as you can see, there's all that information on the back, which makes that gives it that type 1. So I thought it was pretty cool. And then I want to finish it up. Dan, I finally gave in and I bought one. I've been, what's one thing I've been wanting? I wonder if you know. See if he remembers.
Somebody's autograph? Somebody's
maybe, card? Yeah, maybe.
Rookie auto? I don't know.
Maybe, yeah.
A Prince something?
Oh God, wouldn't that be awesome if I had a Prince autograph? Oh my gosh, that's a lot of money.
I don't know.
I got The Rock.
Oh,
98.
hey.
I'm gonna just 8-10
Nice.
baby on that one.
Ooh,
So I got one. I'm finally a proud owner of a Rock, I guess, rookie auto. His
welcome
first
to the club for that.
auto.
Yeah.
So there you go. But I've been getting some of those type ones. So everybody, if y'all want to get into those too, like Dan and I've been, then look for them on eBay. They're still a great price.
Yeah. I've got a bunch of things. I can't really show too many of them off right now, but
Why is that?
there's just a lot. I'm just like I'm sorting through it. But a couple things that I can easily show off here is, I don't know if people know this about me, but as much as I love pop culture, modern pop culture,
Yes.
all the stuff, G.I. Joe, X-Men, wrestling, all that stuff, Disney stuff.
Right.
Part of me also loves vintage sports, vintage baseball, vintage basketball, particularly just like old stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Antiques. I've loved that stuff ever since I was a kid, and I'm kind of like a basketball historian. I know a lot of trivia about that stuff because when I was a kid, I used to buy those old cards and I used to read the backs of them. And
You did?
Yeah, I know all these useless.
You remember the stats?
I used to.
You did.
Yeah. But I knew like everybody's height. I knew like what cards
you did, and their birthdays.
Yeah, I was like a little stat.
What was their hometown?
Yeah,
their birthplace or whatever.
They would tell you that on the back of the cards.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody that reads the back of any modern cards today, to be honest. But they used to have all that stuff. Anyways, I love vintage baseball. One of my things, and I'm looking for like unique collectibles. And I came across these two that I got recently in Goldin Auctions, by the way. Okay. This is a Jackie Robinson.
Ooh, that's nice.
Okay.
That's got nice eye appeal.
It's called, it's from 1950. It's called Fawcett Publications. And I don't even know what it is, to be honest. But what I see here is I see a beautiful colored, like a comic book type collectible of Jackie Robinson. I'm pretty sure, actually, no, this is not the one I want to show you, but it's really cool. It's got this great color on it. CGC graded 5.5. It's pretty rare. I try to find like raw copies of this or early graded copies, pretty rare copies.
How'd you know about it?
I just saw it randomly.
Oh, wow.
Because, I'm always looking, I spend hours searching auction sites every week and I'm just looking for rare stuff. I always go to like the rare or other tab and just see what kind of unique items they have. So this is pretty cool. It's got Jackie Robinson from 1950.
What would you do? Okay. Type in Jackie Robinson comic book?
No, I literally scroll through everything, and I'm looking for rare items that people want. So when everybody else is buying like the 48 leaf or whatever cards that he has, I'm buying this stuff. Okay, because it displays really well. It's unique. It's a conversation starter, and it will get people's attention. And it's rare. Okay, remember,
you bought it graded, or did you buy it raw and get it
graded? Graded just like this. Okay, so it's all packaged up, ready to go. I'll take this to the national. But remember, guys, all right. My 3 points that I always look at. I need to come up with a name for this. The curators
3-point test.
3-point test or something like that, basically. Okay. Number 1, can you see the beauty in it? Does it have eye appeal?
I do. I see like the yellow and the color in it. The
beautiful,
blue.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Number 2, is it relevant? Jackie Robinson is arguably more relevant today than any other player of his generation, just because of the whole groundbreaking civil rights issue, first black, all that stuff. Very relevant right now. And 3, is it scarce? Yes. High demand for Jackie Robinson collectibles. Very rare thing. So it checks all those boxes for me. So that's one I got. And I actually got 2 of them. But the other one.
You found 2? You're like,
the other one is
I like
better.
it so much, I'm going to have to get another one. Wait a minute. They're red? There's different variations?
Yes. Yeah. So this is from 1951. Okay. And this is why I like
it. It's different.
Yeah, this is why I like it. It's red. It's beautiful. It's more like eye popping, right? It stands out more. But I'm pretty sure that this is very, very similar to his 1948 Leaf rookie card photo.
You think so?
Okay? Very, very, very close. So I think they modeled it after that. But beautiful. And look on the back.
Ooh, wow.
A portrait of him on the back, full-size portrait. Just a really rare, unique item. Very cool. So I picked that up.
What is it? Like a photo book?
It just says Fawcett Publications, 1951.
Okay.
So whatever that is. Special inside the Dodgers training camp. I think it's like a program.
Gotcha,
like a newsletter program or something like that. I can see through the printing here. There's like a comic book inside. So
wow. It's got everything.
I don't know what it is, but he had his own magazine back in the day,
That's awesome.
So that's just two of the things that I picked up, but I love vintage baseball. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Okay, so we got that out of the way. Let's go ahead and get to comments here. I know we have people patiently waiting to.
Yes, they are.
To be acknowledged. So here we go.
Acknowledge them. Carlos, rise and shine, everyone. That's right, Carlos, rise and shine. It is party time. Oh, I also want to congratulate last week's winner on Golden Hour, the Card Professor, number 7.
Did you announce that yet?
Yes, and make sure if he's listening to hit me up on IG, okay? So I can get your contact info.
I didn't see that announcement, so I don't know. But he has a different Instagram name. I can't remember.
Oh no!
it.
God, I hope I didn't tag the wrong person.
Send it on Instagram, and then I'll share it because then he follows.
It's on there. Okay. Andrew, good evening. Happy Tuesday. Hope everyone is doing well. Thank you. Likewise, Andrew. Emmanuel, let's go. B2S Army.
BTS
Army.
BTS Army.
B2S.
BTS Army. Okay, guys, make Merlin. We're
gonna have a cease and desist if we keep this up. I don't think we have the money like BTS does.
I'll take those guys to court. We'll make a big media thing about it. It'll be great.
Oh, brother. Emmanuel, congrats on the continuation of the sponsors. Thank you, Emmanuel. City by the Bay, WWE Revolution dropping this weekend, which only means one thing. It's Kaboom time. So I guess they're talking about Kabooms, which are the rare case hit inserts in there, correct?
Hey, that's going to be interesting because
Kabooms and Revolution.
I want to see what that looks like. I like Kabooms. So
these are like another version of Color Blast, right?
Yeah, but they got to do it well because Kabooms are they're supposed to be like comic books. So if if they take a realistic photo and they put it in there, I don't know if I'm gonna feel that. But if they have like
the Batman things, like PAL.
Yeah.
PAL.
Yeah. Like I have this. I just picked this up over the weekend. I'll just show you this. This is another Piggy Banks original here, but this is the Ric Flair modeled after the Kaboom. Okay. So if it's kind of like that, I think that'd be kind of cool. But although this is more of a realistic picture, I'd like a little bit more of a comic booky feel to it.
Gotcha.
Okay. But that will be interesting. I'm hoping. I can't wait to see what those look like. Honestly, I can't wait.
The Revolution's a very affordable price too, right?
Yeah.
City by the Bay. Yeah, they're pretty inexpensive. Yo, Merlin, do you agree that Chris Statlander was the wrong person to end Jade's straight dumb decision? Yeah, I just didn't like. They should have created a cool storyline behind it and made it put some effort into it. But this was too soon after the Charlotte Flair with Ronda Rousey, where Ronda did pretty much the same thing, and then Charlotte came out. It was just a few months ago, prior to, it was in the fall prior to WrestleMania. So I don't like those things where you get challenged, it comes out. I would have liked to see Chris at least work for it. Mark, let's go. A championship belt is on the line. Mark would love that championship
belt. He's talking
belt.
about the Veriswap mark, the ad campaign that we're going to do pretty soon. I'm going to try to roll it out with them guys. I think it's going to be really fun. There's going to be a championship belt online. If you guys want the championship belt, send a DM message on Instagram to Veriswap. Tell them that you heard it on Between Two Slabs so that we get credit for it, and then we're going to make this happen.
Yeah, is it going to look as nice as Maria Ripley's did last night? Seems like everybody is getting a new belt.
Why do they have to make the men's and women's belt look the same? I don't
know.
I like it.
With this one, didn't they?
I think that's an upgrade from the design. I hate the WCW design. I hate it.
Me
too.
I
think it's so stupid that they just made the other one, the SmackDown one, gold with a gold backing. It's the same belt, just with a gold color to it. I think that's the ugliest belt in the world. I love the traditional belts that have a lot of gold inlays and, you know, lions and all those eagles on it and things like that.
Right.
I love that stuff.
The detail.
I just wish that they would just make it a little bit different. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think we need a smaller version of the men's belt. You know what I mean? I think they could have tried harder on that, but whatever. Okay.
And the all white. Dexflow Toys. Mark the Collector. Let's do a triple scissor of Merle. Scissor me, daddy.
Those guys are so fun to watch. The Acclaimed, like when they come out, Max Caster is so funny on his things, and then what's that other guy's name? Anthony Bowen. Like he gets so hyped at the end where he screams the city that they're in. I love it. I love those guys. I think they should get definitely more of a push on there. They should be the champions or something because those guys are entertaining.
I'm sure they'll be in WWE one day. Carlos, Vader's cell was epic. Yes, it was, Carlos. Tony, don't you think that superfractor that Daps put a bounty on would be worth more than the bounty of $15K? Right. Well, remember he put that bounty out months ago, like when like in December when the product came out. So now I think it should be worth more, right? I think it should be worth more. That's why, you know, if I had it, I'd probably ask for like 20 grand or something. Adrian, CV Sports Cards. What's up, guys? It was great seeing you both at the premiere. Thank you, Adrian, for helping me pack my boxes so I could leave in time. Thank you very much. Always good to see you, brother. Charles, what's up, fellas? My opinion is we are at different times now. Star Wars is great, but we are in a bear market right now. If that Vader came out last year, it would have been like $100,000. Dan, do you agree with Charles? Well, I agree with Charles in the sense that we are in a different market and there's less money now. Definitely there is less money than there was last year. We're seeing cards that sold like Luca RPAs that sold for like 100 grand. Now they're going for like 30 grand. So definitely less money in the current market. But again, for me to really understand where the market is, there has to be incremental increases in sales. So like the biggest Star Wars sale was like maybe, I don't know, at the time, like the biggest public sale, $10,000. I'm not even sure if it was that at that time. So if we went from 10 to 100, that would be a big problem for me because, you know, there's nowhere to go down. And, you know, all these stupid people that all these content creators, and I'll call them stupid because they love to do this stuff. They'll say, oh my God, guys, look at this card. Last year it went for 200,000. Then 6 months later, it went for 130. Then 6 months later, it's 30 grand. They love to point this stuff out. You know what I mean? So I don't want to see that happen with Star Wars cards. I think there has to be an incremental rise. So like, you know, 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, you know, 40, you know, and then that way people feel more comfortable about it versus going from like 10 to 100 and then, you know, what happens, right? So too fast, too soon. Yeah. Like whoever bought the Rock card, like the worst thing that could happen to the wrestling market right now is if the buyer of the Rock card relisted that card, like they bought it on PWCC, and if they relisted it on like Goldin Auctions and it went for like $20,000, that would be the worst thing that happened because all the trolls out there would make so much content about it that it would make it seem like it was a bubble or something like that, you know? Now, who bought that card? Was it Aoki or Charles? I bought the Rock. Neither. Some guy bought it. He announced it on Instagram, but I just can't remember who it is. Right? Well, he needs to definitely tell a story about it if he ever wants to sell it again. Mark, WWE Kaboom hunting on Friday. How many boxes you buying, buddy? Do they come out in the blaster boxes or are there hobby boxes? What, the Kabooms? Yeah. I think they just come out in the regular hobby boxes, don't they? I'm not sure. Anybody knows about this because I might get in on this action, guys. Okay, if we're hunting kabooms, I want to hunt kabooms too. But let me know if it's the blaster boxes that you get at Target or if it's the hobby boxes because, you know. Who's in the kabooms? I wonder what's the checklist. I need to know, like, are there previews of these kaboom cards? Because there has to be.
I saw like what I thought was a mock-up of the Rock Kaboom. I think it was a mock-up. I think it was like a custom card that Gelman posted on his Twitter or something. So I saw that, but I didn't think too much of it. But have they released photo shots of the Kabooms? Because I need to see this. I'd be very
now I want to know, because the Color Blast come out in the Prism boxes, right? And what are they made of? Are they made as Prism as well? Are they a metal card? And then I know that Revolution's paper. So what are the Kabooms? Are they different?
The Kabooms are like foil.
They are?
They're like a foil finish. Okay. They're not chrome.
But they're better than paper.
I mean, it's different. It's totally different than insert, right? It's like a foil based insert.
Okay, good.
The Color Blasts are not they're not chrome either, but they're like they're just like it's the card stock. It's the card stock. And the finish on it. So they have like a, what do you call that? Like a glossy finish to it.
Yeah.
But the Kabooms are going to look nice. As long as they just follow the same formula and they don't try to be different than what they do with sports, I think it'll be cool. If they're all silver, foil, or metallic, lettering and all this stuff, and then they have like a gold out of 10, I think that'd be really cool.
City by the Bay, rest in peace, Iron Sheik or Iron Sheik.
Right.
Yes, they've been highlighting him all week.
Yeah, he was a really, really crazy dude, but he lived his gimmick. He lived his gimmick for sure.
Yeah, I loved watching him on Howard Stern, if y'all ever watched Howard Stern. But do you remember he got caught, I think, with Hacksaw Jim Duggan and someone else?
He got in trouble.
Getting into the devil's business in the car.
That's why.
Back then, what's that?
I never heard of that story. I heard that they were carpooling together and they got in trouble.
They were having fun with the devil's business.
Okay, and
they got like suspended.
That's
because
why.
Baby faces weren't allowed to hang out with the heels. Yeah. Not only were they hanging together, heels and baby faces back then, but they were, getting naughty.
That's probably why he's always in his gimmick. That's always why he's yelling at people. And
they said he was always in that gimmick.
Yeah, because anybody that knew him, they said that he was actually really nice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He had huge respect with all the wrestlers.
Waiting on you.
Sorry. I thought noticed Charles's new one here. How do you find demand? Easy. Post your card and watch in your inbox explode. Yeah, Charles. If you can do that, it's good for you, dude.
I think demand for a product, for a card, kind of comes with the story attached to the card. Right?
Of course.
Like if people don't know about it, then they're not going to know why they
don't know
want
about it.
But if a card has a story attached to it, then people are going to want it for whatever reasons. And I'll give you a good example about this. I just saw this auction and on eBay, Probstein auction. Okay, let me see if I can pull it up. Let me see.
A Probstein one too. Wow.
Okay. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, here it is. 1986 Flair Jordan, graded by a company called KSA. It's a Canadian grading company.
Oh yeah, KSA.
Graded authentic. Okay. And what makes this card special? Can you see that? It's extremely faded. That's not my phone. Okay. It's extremely faded.
Is it a printing plate or something?
No, it's just a faded card, but it has mold on it. It has mold on it. And I remember saw earlier in the week, Rick Probstein did a post on his Instagram accounts calling this like the moldy Jordan or something on this. It has mold all on the bottom here.
The moldy Jordan.
The moldy Jordan card. Faded. It's terrible. It's like graded authentic. Here's a better picture. You can see maybe, hold on, let that focus real quick here. Okay. Let me see that. Okay. Can you see that?
So they don't, oh my God. Yeah, that's terrible.
All that mold right there.
Oh my goodness.
So this card, graded authentic by some Canadian grading company, sold for $981. Basically the price of a PSA 1. Of this
$981. That's it.
Yeah. You think it'd be more for a moldy Jordan?
Yeah.
You pay more? I wouldn't.
Well, maybe you could clean it off. Maybe you can crack it, clean it.
No, you can't
get it regraded.
No, you can't. This is beyond repair. But that's part.
You don't think moldy Jordan can be unmolded?
It's the moldy Jordan, and there are other cards like this where people make up stories. There's a version of this card, just Jordan card, where it's all white. It was sitting in the sun. It's all white. Somebody calls it the albino Jordan. So there's like things like that. But basically, if you can,
what are you saying? Those tell good stories, though.
Yes, you make up a story. You make up a story about it. And that can apply to basically almost any rare card. If there's some fun story attached to it, like this person owned it, or this card was
owned the moldy Jordan
bet or something like that, then that adds premium value for sure.
The albino Jordan, come see it at the National, at the Between Two Slabs booth. Adrian, CB Sports Cards. Dan, I don't know what to tell you, brother. Your taste in entertainment is ... a bit off. LOL. Yeah, thank you, Adrian. Thank you for acknowledging that. Andor, wow, what a great show. Maybe because Merlin and I are Gen X. No, because just we have taste, Adrian. We have taste.
I don't want to be rude to you guys.
This guy thinks his Oscar-winning movie he saw for the year is Super Mario Brothers.
You don't think Super Mario Bros. Was entertaining? Oh my god!
For like an hour.
I don't know.
Maybe for 5 years old.
Somebody look up the box office results for Super Mario Brothers, because that is one of the best movies of the year, hands down. And no offense to you guys, but you guys are of an older generation, So
Andor was probably one of the best Star Wars series out there.
Enjoy a certain pace of a show and things like that. And I'm just saying, Andor was interesting, but it's not the best Star Wars show of all time, and it's my least favorite
show. Yes, it was
least favorite of all the Star Wars.
No, oh my goodness,
on that. Okay, but then again, I'm younger than you guys, so what can I say? We have different tastes. Okay, you guys don't even like the Rocketeer. What's the matter with you guys?
Oh, that was horrible.
You don't like the cult classic Rocketeer.
I went to see it opening night. I totally remember this. I wanted to like it. Hell, I even had Jennifer Connelly, who I had a huge crush on then. And that couldn't even keep my interest.
I even have artwork sitting in my office of the Rocketeer. I love that show, that movie so much, that character. So much.
Horrible. You probably love Howard the Duck.
Yes, Howard the Duck.
Oh, gosh.
Howard the Duck live action movie was
We're just going to lose about half the viewers now, Dan, for you admitting that.
Howard, I think if I remember correctly, he either made love or he was very close to making love to the
scene was cringy.
It was amazing.
Where she was playing with his feathers. It was all like erotic.
That's erotic, man. That's erotic. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's move on. Okay. Agree to disagree. But my taste is better. Here we go.
Oh my God. Mark the Collector. Don't be greedy and take profit on the bounty. Pokenomics. I will put a 3K bounty on any 2017 Han Solo Stellar Auto. Wow, Dan. What about that?
I mean, it's cool, I mean, if it's Harrison Ford on card auto, I think it's worth more than 3K. But
can't wait for Indiana Jones to come out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how good it'll be. Inglorious P stickers are trash.
Yeah, most people don't like stickers for sure. I've learned that. Let's see.
Darth Curator Secrets. On fire, dude.
Yeah. Let's see. I know a lot of things, guys. Okay. I know a lot of things. I only reveal the secrets like sporadically throughout the show. So if you guys have been watching our stuff regularly, you know that I would drop these nuggets of knowledge every once in a while. But I know a lot of things. I know a lot of things for sure.
He drops it like poop. Inglorious P. Everyone's goal in sports cards is to make money. Let's be honest. Sure.
No pushback there. I mean, honestly, yes. That is the driving motivation for a lot of people. Even the guys that say that they're pure collectors, they still value their collections. They still put a dollar amount on their collections. You know what I mean? And that's an interesting comment, because I remember a couple months ago, I got into a comment battle with some idiot about something. I forget what it was, but basically I sarcastically said that you know, the hobby's all about making money. And then all these people came out and tried to like fight me in the comments section.
Of course.
How dare you, you know,
You definitely ruffled the feathers.
This and that. And, you know, I fought with them. I was feeling spicy that day and I was fighting with all these guys. I was leaving comments.
Oh, man.
And they just didn't want to hear it. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that's the only motivation for everybody, but definitely the way that the hobby is today, where our collectibles have money, have real value attached to them, then, you know, that's what it is. You know what I mean? Like, even people that are like really hardcore collectors, if they have a really rare card, they're going to want top dollar for it if they ever give it up for whatever reason. You know what I mean? That's just how it is. And to pretend like that's not at least one of the goals of everybody, and it's not aligned with them, I think that's just kind of like being a little bit silly about that, because that's just where we are today. But behind that, okay, we have to also realize that we are in the collectibles market. So there has to be a balance between liking something and also appreciating the value of that something, right? There has to be a balance of that. And the people that understand the balance are the people that do really well. The people that are just like all in it for the money, they tend to get themselves in trouble sometimes. And then the people that don't want to acknowledge that at all are probably not completely, or a little bit out of touch with where the hobby is today.
Goot vibes. What's up, gentlemen? Cool to meet y'all at the premiere show. Likewise, brother. Charles, Merlin, about time, that rock auto. Thank you, Charles.
Charles has like 7 of those rock autos.
I'm sure he does. I'm sure. Thank you, Charles. I knew that would impress you. Andrew, Dan has infiltrated Merlin at the big boys table with that rock auto. Nice card. Thank you, Andrew. I've been wanting one forever, and a nice one too. Andrew, Jackie Robinson is one of the best investments for vintage baseball. Honestly, it goes beyond baseball. Jackie is historical and still relevant. That is so true. He's history.
He knows. Andrew knows.
He's only banned in Florida, apparently. Mark the Collector, Curator's Triangle to Success. Oh, there you go. I like that. Triangle to Success. Because 3 points.
Yeah.
3 points.
Or I could call it the Pyramid of Success, because that's modeled after John Wooden's Pyramid of Success, which I'm a big John Wooden fan also. I like it.
Gotcha.
Yeah. We'll work on it. The name is a work in progress.
Andrew, I like the yellow one better.
He's talking about my Jackie Robinson.
Yeah, but I like the red too. They're both pretty cool. Carlos, nice graded Jackie Robinson program, Dan. Mark the Collector, Charlotte Flair Kaboom coming soon to the Curator's display case. I'm sure it will.
That'd be interesting. Okay, so
don't give him any thoughts. He's going to have a bunch of rappers on the floor on Friday night. I can see it right now. Entire case opened up and him passed out.
It's a very slippery slope, ripping packs. I'm still feeling the sting of that case. I got so many cards.
What was that, the Prism case?
Yeah, I got so many Prism cards to process that I don't even know what to do with it. If anybody wants any WWE cards, you let me know.
Did you get any one-on-ones out of that?
No.
Did you get
I didn't even get
Color Blast?
I didn't even get the Color Blast. Yeah.
What?
It was very
disappointing. Oh my gosh. I would have been so angry.
Very disappointing. So I really should stop. No. I need to stop. I need to stop buying boxes and ripping.
How can you not get one of those? That doesn't make any sense.
Bad luck. But
I want my money back.
I know, right? So here's the thing about these kabooms, right?
Okay.
I've learned this lesson too, guys. So this is where I share a little bit of knowledge with you, okay? When these things come out, they're going to be hyped. Like, they're going to set the first cards to market will set the highest prices. Okay. The first week that they get pulled and they go straight on eBay, buy it now prices, they're going to set the ceiling, but it will come down. I have no doubt that if you're patient, you will see the cards come down in value until it gets to a floor price. The floor price will be when people stop letting it go at auction and they list it at a buy now. Right. So I could see, for example, a Charlotte Flair going for like $1,500 right? And then, but then it will eventually come down to like $500, kaboom, something like that.
So what are you trying to tell me? I shouldn't go buy one right away and try to flip it.
I wouldn't do. Well, no,
that's a bad
no,
mistake.
No. Yeah,
time I get it and everything, time it goes through the authenticity guaranteed thing, it'll be like 2 weeks later. It'll be too late.
I mean, if you can turn it into a PSA 10, there will be a premium for that.
Okay,
sure, if you can do it.
That's the only way.
And if you want to gamble, then that's fine. But don't think that. I mean, you're going to pay up if you want to be the first to get it. Part of that is you pay up to get it because you're the first and you can show it off on your page and all that stuff. But you got to pay the premium for that. So just keep that in mind, guys. If you want, just watch them. After about a month, 2 months, they'll level out. But if you want to get it right away, then you got to pay up the price for it. The only exception to that, I think, is if they come out with golds out of 10, then they're rare enough where you want to pick it up so that because you don't know when the next one is going to come. There's only 10 of them, right?
Did they have kabooms last year?
No,
they did not. Okay,
Color Blast.
Just Color Blast.
Yeah. So just kind of keep that in mind. Keep that in mind, guys. I will probably not buy. If there's a gold one up, I'll go after the gold, but I won't buy the regular ones until after like a month or so.
You're on the prize of the gold ones.
Yeah.
Because those are numbered.
Yes.
Mark the Collector. Premiere show was what was moving at the show? Nothing. not much. My graded guards were I sold 2 Post Malone rookie cards, PSA 10s, and then I sold a handful of those 1966 Donruss Marvel cards, like the Spider-Mans and stuff. I had those raw and I sold them for like 20, 25 each, and they bought them all from me. But that was about it. How about Dan? Did you notice anything?
I only hung out with. I wasn't set up, so I only hung out with Merlin for a couple hours there. And I didn't.
A lot of people there had Disney.
Yeah, I didn't really walk around that much, to be honest, because we were just hanging out at the table. So I didn't notice anything, to be honest. So I can't really speak to it. But I did pick up some cool cards. I picked up the Playboy cards, which I thought were pretty cool. I picked up
that's right, the 95 Playboy.
I picked up these Soprano cards that were pretty cool. Oh, we lost Merlin. Okay, I'm sure his camera cut out or something like that, but he'll be back. We'll get him back in here. I'll do the comments for you guys while we wait for Merlin, but then we'll wrap it up. We're almost done. Okay. Oh, I think he's back. He's back. What happened?
I have no clue. You went out.
Okay. Oh, he's blaming me, guys. He's blaming me. I went out, huh?
You did. You froze up, and then I went out somehow. It just knocked me out.
All right, let's move on here before we get kicked off here. Yeah, I can see you.
I can't see myself, but it's all kinds of weird things happening here.
Okay, can you see the comments?
Yeah, I do see the comments. Right. You can see me. I can't see anything. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Oh, that's weird. You can see me.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I can't complain. I don't see anything.
You don't see the comments? Okay.
Unfortunately, I don't.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll just read the comments here.
Okay.
WWE Revolution is only hobby, and it's only $99 per box. $100 for a hobby box, okay? Maybe I'll rip it. Who knows, guys? Maybe I'll rip it, okay? Culture Shock Collectible, my friend Jesse. You can hit them in retail in the blaster boxes. So that contradicts what City by the Bay just said. So we'll see what happens there. Merlin's back in here. Can you see us now?
Now I can't hear anything. What the heck?
You can't hear us? Oh, Merlin's having technical difficulties, but we're going to move on.
So weird. Okay. Now I can hear you and see you now. I'm good. Tony, you guys see any value in any of the older Galaxy sketches? I see that Ashley Eckstein's first auto was on an older Galaxy sketch. Is there any other Star Wars sketches that hold any significant value?
Only like if they're by famous artists. That's what I learned about sketch cards. Like really, they have to be really awesome looking, good eye appeal, color, good detail, and the artist has to be well known for their cards to be worth anything. But I think sketches are definitely an undervalued market for sure because they're beautiful artworks. They're one of ones. You know what I mean? So it just really kind of depends on how much detail that they put into it.
That's true. Yeah, look at the like at the sales of like type in Star Wars sketches and see what's sold, and then put the highest price. And you're going to notice most of the time they're going to be like group sketches and very detailed, like Dan said.
Yeah. So it just kind of depends, but to me, people keep asking me about this all the time. They say, "What Star Wars product should I buy?" You know, what should I? I want to get into Star Wars. What should I buy? And this and that. And I always tell people, I say, look, just buy what you like, whatever. There's lots of products out there. There's tons of Star Wars products that you can get at different price points. But if you want cards that are going to have a resale value on it, in my opinion, and this is controversial, a lot of people don't agree with me on this, but my opinion, the Galaxy Chromes are the only way to go, right? In terms of resale value, in terms of getting into Star Wars and having fun opening it, the Galaxy Chromes are the best bang for your buck. Everything else is just going to get lost in the shuffle. You know, the Topps Chrome, the Topps Finest, the show specific cases like Boba Fett, Obi-Wan, and this and that, right? They're all going to get lost in the shuffle somewhere. The Galaxy Chromes are the ones that everybody wants, the ones that are special, and they're the ones that set the values, right? Like the Darth Vader portrait. So that's the one if you want resale value. If you don't care about that, just go buy whatever you like.
Have you ever spent money on a sketch card?
Yeah.
You have good money.
No,
like
not
you have like a refractor.
I think like $150, $200.
Okay, nothing like 1,000 though.
No, I haven't got to that point yet. If I see something amazing, maybe, but I mean, like, I don't value sketch cards that much versus something else,
Yeah, no one's really brought me any of the nice sketches that I've seen on eBay.
Oh, here's one thing I want to say about this, okay? Not to call anybody out.
Okay.
So after the Vader Superfractor sale, right? A lot of people started buying up other Superfractors. And they started buying Superfractors from different sets, not Galaxy. They were buying it from like 2015 Chrome, 2013, whatever, right? Finest, whatever.
Finest, Masterworks, whatever.
Yes, right? And, those cards have value, but they don't have a ceiling upside like Galaxy does, right? So I would say anybody that values our opinions in this market, then listen to this. Don't go pay $10,000 for a non-Galaxy Superfractor. I just don't see the value there, okay? I could be wrong, but I think that Galaxy sets the ceiling for everything else. So you want to be in comparison to that. You don't want to overpay for a non-Galaxy Superfractor, because I know there's a lot of people out there that have non-Galaxy Superfractors,
right?
Usually of like shots from the movie, real life shots of the actors and characters. They have these Superfractors out there, and they're asking like Galaxy prices for them. And if you don't know,
get them.
Yeah, if you don't know, and you pay $10,000 for a Vader Superfractor or something like that, you might be overpaying. Okay, in my opinion about that. So just be wary of that. If you care about resale value, take your money and go buy the Galaxy ones first. Then you can buy all the secondary ones. That's not to say that they don't have value, but they don't have Galaxy value.
Would you even buy like a red one? Like
the
ones
out
of 5? Would you get a 1 out of 5 one too?
Would I?
Yeah.
Maybe. It depends on how it looks and the price. Those have values too, Or
the X-Fractors, 1 out of 10?
The point I'm trying to make here is that Galaxy is the number 1 set.
Right.
Series 1, Series 2, number 1 set.
That's the tier 1 set.
Tier 1 set. That's the word I'm looking for. Tier 1 set. Everything else, tier 2. Okay, basically. Chrome, Masterworks, Finest, tier 2, and then below that are all the paper products.
Gotcha.
Okay, so just understand that when you're buying, because remember what we talked about in the beginning of the show. There's going to be a lot of new people that try to jump into the Star Wars market. They see the big sale, they get excited, they try to jump in, and they'll get taken advantage of by people that, because they don't know any better. So just kind of keep that in mind.
Axel C. Present, guys, preparing some packages to ship out tomorrow as I'm enjoying the show. Thank you, Axel. Matt Miller. Matt, what's up, buddy? Dan, appreciate you turning me on to that Piggy Banks.
Piggy Banks he's a great artist, guys. He's a great artist, and I'll give him another shout out. Hold on, I'll give him another shout out real quick here. Let me pull this card out real quick.
Hope you're doing well, Matt. Good to hear from you. Always good to see you in Dallas.
So Piggy Bank, okay. I got to give this guy a lot of love, okay.
He's a great guy, nice guy too.
His stuff is not custom cards. If you view it as custom cards, you're missing out on the opportunity, okay? These are art cards. Piggy Bank is an artist, and his medium is not a canvas. It's not sculptures. It's not NFTs or whatever it is. His medium is cards, trading cards. So he creates one-of-a-kind art pieces, and then he prints them into the form of a card, and he makes slabs out of them, okay? So these are works of art. They're not custom cards, all right? And that's the way you got to look at it. And here is one I just picked up here of
so his art is making it look like a card.
No, his medium is cards.
Right.
You know what medium means?
Yes. Like
some people paint with watercolors. Some people paint with oil paints.
Yeah, that's their like base.
Yeah, some people use sculptures. There's, so his is
our canvas
cards, trading cards. And this one I just picked up. This is a really cool one. What did they call it? What does he call this? There can only be one. Basically,
oh my gosh,
Messi getting crowned as the king by Ronaldo.
Take the knee.
Yeah.
AKA
bend the
take
knee.
the knee.
Ronaldo, bend the knee.
Bend the knee.
Okay. So the play with Piggy Banks is if you love his artwork and you want to support him, you do it. And if you believe that one day he'll become a famous artist like Banksy, for example, and Banksy's original artwork will be worth money.
Because I would consider this modern art, right?
It's pop culture art.
Pop culture art, just like Banksy is.
Yes. So if you want to support this guy and you believe he's going to be somebody someday like I do, buy his stuff. They're only $200. They're $200 a piece, basically. Okay. But don't look at them like custom cards because they're not. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try an experiment. I'm gonna bring Piggy Banks cards to the National. I'm gonna put them in my case.
Okay, and see if you can sell it.
I'm gonna put a $2,000 price tag on these cards. Okay, and
you heard it from him first.
And I'm not gonna sell them. I'm not gonna sell them for less than that. $2,000 gets you one of my Piggy Banks original cards. But basically, I'm just gonna try to show them off for him because I want people to know who he is. He's a great artist and a great person too. Very nice guy. He always takes care of me when I go to his studio to hang out with him and stuff like that. So big supporter of Piggy Banks. Okay. And if you think what I just said is crazy, I dare you, okay, to Google an artist called Mr. Doodle. Okay. Mr. Doodle. Like everybody knows Banksy, but let me tell you about an artist called Mr. Doodle. Go look at his stuff. Okay.
Mr. Doodle.
And if you understand what he does, then you'll understand what Piggy Bank does. Okay.
Gotcha.
But real quick, I'll just tell you, Mr. Doodle, 2015 artist in London trying to sell his doodle prints for $1 each. Nobody wants to buy it. Fast forward 2023, they sell on auction, like some Christie's website auction for $1 million.
What?
Okay. Because
Mr. Doodle's work?
Because it's the artist. The artist is what drives the value of their artwork. You know what I mean? So as they build a community of followers and clients, and as they start to sell in the secondary market and they build their reputation and they do more pieces, then one day his original pieces can be worth money. Mr. Doodle's a perfect example of that. Banksy's an example of that.
So Mr. Doodle's work is like Banksy's?
You got to look at it.
I'll look at it. I'll look at it. It kind of reminds me of, did you see that documentary about Banksy, Exit Through the Gift Shop?
No, I didn't.
Like years ago, it's about Mr. Brainwash, who was kind of like, I think, kind of played from Banksy. I think he was part of Banksy's crew.
Yeah,
but it was part of the mystery and part of the pop culture art joke.
So, just like
the whole thing.
Just like with that question that we got before about sketches and if sketches are worth money, it all comes down to the artist and what reputation and brand that artist builds around them. And if they build it up really well, then their pieces are worth money. The Kurosawa, right, did not really become super desirable until we got the artist Randy Martinez on this podcast to tell
That's
the
true.
story about the Kurosawa, to tell us that George Lucas owns the original, to just give us backstory behind it. And that, I believe, added a lot of value to that card.
Mm. You Jelly Ink, funny one. I'm so excited to gonna go kaboom hunting Friday. I want an Andre kaboom. I'd be
Everybody's
awesome if
talking
there's
about
Andre.
these kabooms. I think there's going to be a lot of hype around this.
Our viewers want to get kabooms from wrestling at Revolution. Mark the Collector. I predict a kaboom row for Dan, Hulk, Brett, etc. You think there's going to be that many? And all those legends?
Sure, there is. I would love a Hulk Hogan, a Bret Hart, Andre. I would love them all.
Mark, you getting an entire case, opening it as well? Jopa 240, anything by Angel Velis. Yes, he's one of the most popular sketch artists.
His stuff goes for like over $1,000 for a sketch.
Yes, he's got really detailed stuff, like the booklets and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I think for like the ones we saw from Masterworks,
yeah,
they probably have like the nicest sketches, I think.
Right. Okay, so that wraps up all the comments here, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Just a couple announcements before we say goodbye to you guys. Don't forget our show tomorrow, the Golden Hour. We switch it to Wednesday. We go live at 6 p.m. So just like we do tonight, we're going to go live tomorrow. We're going to watch some of the auctions. I don't know if there's any. Actually, there's no auctions in the pop culture stuff ending tomorrow, but we will.
Oh, there's not? Okay.
No, for pop culture stuff, no. But we will be telling you about the auctions to watch for that end Thursday. So you will have a chance to bid on those things, and we will be doing another $100 giveaway for that. So make sure you tune in so you can get $100 so that you can spend on Goldin's website. So check that out, guys. Remember, check out our renewed sponsor, Veriswap. They support us, so we want to support them as much as we can. And then I forgot to say this, but I'm going to tell you this. We'll just make this preview announcement. This is like a little trailer. We'll talk about this next week. Okay. But we are quickly approaching 100 episodes of Between Two Slabs, guys. And we're getting there. I think we're in the 90s right now. So that's kind of a big deal for us. So as we start to get closer to 100, we're going to do something special. I think we're going to do some giveaways or something like that. So make sure you check that out. Make sure you follow this man here on YouTube and Instagram, Merl World Cards. I know you guys follow me, but make sure you follow Merlin too. We're trying to get this man to 1,000 followers on YouTube.
And check out the video that I did with Raymond Lee of Veriswap. So check it out, and you can learn how to use it and learn how he got into the business.
Great interview. I watched the whole thing, which is rare for me to spend that time watching.
That's so true,
content, guys. So make sure you check that out. But anyways, great conversation tonight. Hopefully you guys come join us tomorrow. If not, we will see you.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
Next week, right? Yeah.
Right, next Tuesday.
Next week. Okay. Where's that thing? Where's that thing? Oh, here we go. See you guys later, guys. Bye, guys.